Hey everyone, it's Desy Cheng and welcome to the 2025-2026 Urban EDC Travel Sling Guide. Now, these are all sling bags that are around the 2 to 3 liters in size-ish, and I feel like it's a great size because it's not too small, but it's not too big, but it's kind of that medium size where you can use it as an everyday carry. You can use it pretty much going to work or, going shopping, whatever like that, but you can also take it traveling because it just has a little bit of extra space for you to throw some of your travel essentials in there. Now, I know that there are thousands and thousands of sling bags on the market. I have not tried every single one, but these are the ones that have kind of I've been interested in or have been sent to me or I have purchased myself. And just to let you guys know, I've done reviews on almost every single one of these sling bags, an in-depth one, so I'll link those in the description below so you can watch my full-on in-depth one where there's way more B-roll and stuff like that, me using the bag and doing a full pack out, blah blah blah. So let's dive in. So these right here are my everyday essentials. So essentially everything should fit into any one of these sling bags. I got my sunglasses, my power bank with power cable, wallet, AirPods, as well as my keys. And if I were to go traveling, so in addition to all of this, I should still also be able to fit my little power adapter, my passport, as well as some travel documents and wet wipes, as well as some plug-in headphones. And as a bonus, not really required, it would be nice if I could carry either my Nintendo Switch or a small camera or even my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. All right, let's first start off with the Rework Gear Toshi Sling version 2 2.5 liter sling bag. And this is, I would have to say, my favorite out of all of the other bags. So I'll start with this one. And I'll kind of give you a quick little 360 of the bag. So boom, it's made out of an 840D nylon. And yeah, in terms of this strap, it's got this kind of made out of this seatbelt material. So it's nice and smooth and very comfy. So yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. At the very back, it does, sorry, on the strap, it does have a push buckle release, so you can release it if you need to, but it also has keeper straps, so you could reverse this strap around the other side, so you can actually have the push release buckle on this side if you wanted to. But looking at the, oh yeah, and then looking at the bottom, if you didn't have anything in there, it kind of goes down flat, but it kind of expands out, which is very nice. And also externally, you have these additional straps right here, and they just kind of clip on right there. And the great thing about this is that so you can do some external carry. So if you wanted to carry, I don't know, a tripod or a jacket or a water bottle or umbrella or something like that, you totally can. So big bonus on that. Good job, Rework Gear, for that. But let's start off at the top. We do have a single zipper here, and this is where my sunglasses are. I really like how it's at the top, so it's out of the way. It's not squishing, where all of my other contents are. And then looking into the front stash pocket, I really like the length of this key leash. A lot of sling bags I've used, they have short leashes, and this is very nice and long, so you can actually keep your sling bag on you to open your door. Right now, I just have my corded headphones right there for travel. And then what else? So when we open up the main compartment, boom, it opens up just like this. And in here, I just have my wallet, I have my power adapter, I have my AirPods, my power bank, and it's got these nice little elastic sleeves, and also have my travel documents and wet wipes. And there's also a top handle. The top handle isn't anything crazy, but it's nice that they do have one. And then also has a back zippered pocket, and this is a perfect place to keep your passport or anything else organized. And there's actually room in there, so I could probably fit maybe 4 passports in there, so enough for my family. So yeah, that's essentially it for the Rework Gear. But now here's the big question. As a bonus item, can it fit a Nintendo Switch? So you do have to take off the Joy-Con controllers, but so I have everything from my essentials as well as my travel kit in here. Plus I can actually fit the Nintendo Switch with the Joy-Con controllers in there. And so this is a great kind of thing. And boom, it zips up no problem. And so boom. So I just took out the Nintendo Switch, and now let's see if there's room for my DJI Osmo Pocket. And the answer is kind of yes. Yes, it does. So you can actually fit all of my basic essentials, my travel essentials, plus
a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is great. So as a bonus item, I was able to fit my Fujifilm X100 in here. My wallet's right beside it. However, I did have to take off the little power adapter from my travel kit, as well as the lens hood from the Fujifilm X100 camera. But yes, this will close up and boom. So essentially it can fit everything from my essentials to my travel kit to pretty much any one of those 3 bonus items that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Next up, we have the Tomtoc Aviator Sling 2.5 liter. It also comes in a 1.5 as well as a 3.5 liter version, and it also has an X-Pack version as well. So this one right here retails for about $45 US, and if you did want the upgraded X-Pack version, it is $68 US. So definitely the most budget-friendly, cheapest sling bag out of the entire bunch of all the bags I'm telling you about today. So this is the best bang for the buck by far. So let's start showing you, here's a quick little 360 of the bag. The strap is not removable in terms of, you know, it does have a quick release button on this one side, but you can't remove the straps to switch it onto the other side. Now there's no external carry, but that's okay. Most bags don't have that. But let's start with the front. Oh yeah, the fabric is also all RFID blocking. So if you're concerned about getting your credit cards and things like that skimmed, then this bag might be the one for you. So looking at this front stash pocket, I really like how it's nice and long and it's large. I have my headphones in here. I have my AirPods in there. Also, it does have a nice long key leash, just like the Toshi Sling, for me to put my keys in there. So those are the 3 things I have in there, but there's still room for me to throw other things in here, like snacks or something like that. And then this one has the main compartment. So the main compartment opens from the top, and right now I do have, I'll show it this way, but I have my travel documents as well, some wet wipes in this back sleeve area. I have my power bank as well as a cable. I got my wallet and your power adapter, and then it does have this one zipper pocket where I do have my sunglasses. And then the one thing about the sunglasses though, it's not raised up high, so it's kind of like on the same level as all of my other contents, so it's a little bit more like it got a more likelihood to get squished. Yeah, so that's essentially it. And so yeah, I was able to fit all of my essential items plus also my travel items in here. All right, so now bonus items. Let's see if the Nintendo Switch fits in there along with everything else that I just showed you. And the answer is yes. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. You do have to take off one of the controllers though, and that will kind of fit right over off to the side. But yes, so just like the Rework Gear Toshi Sling, it will fit a Nintendo Switch plus also my travel items plus also my essential items. The next bonus item is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and will it fit? Well, I did have to take off the Nintendo Switch, but the answer is yes. Yes, it will fit your DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and closed up no problem, along with all of my other original items. And the last bonus question is, will my Fujifilm X100 fit in there along with my other items? And the answer is yes, it will. So exactly pretty much just like the Rework Toshi Sling, I did have to take out my power adapter as well as the lens hood from the camera, but everything fit in there, no problem. And this is kind of what it looks like from a top view. Oh yes, and I did forget to mention that on the back of the Tomtoc, there is also a zipper pocket for your passport or anything like that. Okay, moving on to the AER Day Sling 3. This is the X-Pack version, retails for $110 US, weighs 363 grams. And in terms of size, this one is supposed to be a little bit larger at 3 liters. So yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. I really do love the X-Pack fabric. I also love the waterproof zippers. It just kind of gives it a much more premium kind of thing. And I really like how wide the bag kind of goes towards the bottom. Yeah, and so right now, it kind of same thing. You know, you have a nice kind of thick strap. I will have to say the quality of the strap material is not as nice as the Rework Gear, as well as, actually, I think I almost prefer the Tomtoc quality of the strap more as well. But it does have a single, instead of a push release buckle, it does have a magnetic fidlock buckle. And also the strap is not removable, so you can't swap this quick release buckle onto this side. But yeah, it does have a top handle though. But it's kind of tight. It's very, very small. Oh, I did forget to tell you that the Tomtoc one does not have a top grab handle, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. So yeah, let's look at this bag right now and let's kind of go through all of the features. So let's start off with the front. The front zipper. I really like how it's got grab tabs on either side, so you can really easily unzip that bag. And in the front right here, it's nice and wide. I got my headphones in there as well as just my keys. I really like this kind of interior orange color. It just kind of makes things pop. But as you can tell, this key leash is very, very short. So it's more difficult for me to kind of like open my door while having the sling on. I just wish it was just a little bit longer. So let's zip that up and let's get into the main compartment. So the main compartment, oh yeah, the bag does stand up on its own, which is nice. When you do open it up, it opens up similar to the Rework gear. Now, there is no dedicated sunglasses compartment, unfortunately, so that, you know, it will potentially get squished. But looking at the front now, you do have kind of two stash pockets. I have my AirPods in one of them. I got my wallet right beside, and then I have my power bank and cable right there. And it does have one nice large wide kind of a slide pocket. And the one thing that this bag has that the other ones don't, in addition, it does have a zippered interior pocket on the inside. And this is gonna be great if you're gonna be stashing away cash or other valuables. Okay, and time for bonus time. Will everything in there I just show you fit along with a Nintendo Switch? Well, I did have to take off one of the controllers, and yes, it will fit into that back sleeve compartment, and you can kind of fit this other controller right over there. So the answer is yes, it does pretty much every single thing that the other previous two slings I did showed you can do. So yeah, good job on that. So the next question is, will it fit a DJI Osmo Pocket 3? So I do have to take out the Nintendo Switch first, and then we just gotta kind of be a little bit more creative with how we put this. But yeah, we can put that down there, put the sunglasses on top, and yeah, so just like the other two slings as well, you can fit the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 at the bottom, and I had the sunglasses at the top, just like that. And the last bonus item is my Fujifilm X103. And so because this is, you know, half a liter larger than the other ones, yes, I can actually fit everything. I actually have my Fujifilm X103 with the lens hood attached, and I still also have my power adapter as well. And that all fits in here. The sunglasses just have to kind of rest on top. But yes, I can zip up everything and boom. So definitely this 3-liter AER Day Sling 3 can definitely fit, you know, more than the 2.5 liter of the Tomtoc as well as the Rework gear. But again, the sunglasses compartment, you know, it's kind of gonna get squished in there with all of your other items. Oh yes, and just like the other two sling bags, it does have a rear compartment, and this is a great spot for your passport. However, I will have to say though, once I have like my Fujifilm camera in there, there's not much room for any other passports, maybe 2 passports at the most, but yeah, definitely not 4. Next up, we have the AER City Sling 3, and this one is 2 liters in size, so definitely quite a bit smaller than the previous bag I just showed you, and it retails for about $120 US. So this is not the X-Pack version, but I'm not even sure if there is one. But let me just kind of show you everything about the bag. So at the bag, this one's a little bit of a different style, and I do like it. I mean, this back part, it's got this nice little kind of a foam cushioning to it, so it's a little bit more breathable. And then you got, so this one is, the strap is removable on either side. So you got push buckle releases on either side, which is very, very nice. And I will have to say, I definitely like the strap material better on this one compared to the Day Sling 3. What else? Oh yeah, and also the top handle. The top handle is definitely probably the best out of all of the bags that I've previously just talked about. Yeah, so let's kind of get right into it. So let's start off at the back here. The back, there is a small little zippered pocket, and this is gonna be perfect for your travel, your passport and things like that. And then when you are looking at the front, it's got zippers on either side, so you can actually open it from left side or right side. And it's very, very small in here, so I just only have room for my keys as well as my headphones. And again, same thing, the key leash is not very long, it's very short, so I'm not the greatest in terms of that. Wish they had a longer key leash, but not a crazy big deal. And then when you are opening up that main compartment, everything's kind of squished in there. So I have my sunglasses just kind of on here, and it's not that great because I can't put my sunglasses in here because I have my keys in there. If I put my sunglasses in there, then my sunglasses would get scratched. But essentially, when I do open it up, so similar kind of organization as the Day Sling 3, you got two kind of stash pockets up here. I have my power adapter as well as my headphones. I have my wallet in here, as well as my travel documents just in that main area. And then I have my power bank and power cable. It does have a zippered security pocket in there if you had like cash or valuables or things like that. And then also just at the very back pocket sleeve, I have just some wet wipes. So yes, I was still able to fit all of my travel essentials and my regular essentials in this bag, although that's probably max I could kind of fit in there. I'm not even going to bother with a Nintendo Switch. Can you fit a Nintendo Switch? Actually you can. So it's a very, very tight fit, but yes, you can fit your Nintendo Switch in there and still put your handles in there. I was able to put my wallet in there, but you'd have to sacrifice taking out your travel documents, your wet wipes, your sunglasses, and things like that. So yes, you can kind of fit it in there, but it's a very, very tight fit. And can you fit a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in there? You can. You just have to kind of be a little bit more creative. Got my wallet in there. DJI Osmo Pocket 3, that. You can probably fit your wet wipes in there and fold up that travel document. So it is a big kind of squeeze if you did that. And lastly, would a Fujifilm X106 fit in there even without the lens hood? I had to take out the power adapter. It does fit in there, but it's a very, very tight fit and it's not really ideal. I also had to take out my wallet as well. So yeah. Not a good fit. All right, so next up we have the AER Street Sling, retails for $70 US. This is the X-Pack version, weighs 272 grams or something like that, so relatively lightweight. But yeah, let's kind of do a little 360 right here. Yeah. In terms of the bag, I really do love this kind of fidlock buckle. It's just very, very, I don't know, tactical, fidgety. I don't know. I really just like opening and closing it. It does have this, the front part of it is padded, which is nice. And then it does have just a key leash again. It's not long enough, but it's, yeah, it's okay. It's decent. And it does have I just have my headphones. So that is in the the front compartment. At the very back, it does have a sleeve. In the sleeve, it just has, you know, a spot for one single passport, not much else. And then the strap is thin, so it's probably the thinnest strap out of all of these sling bags that I just showed you. It does have a nice kind of top grab handle, and the strap, you can remove it because it has keeper straps on either side. The main compartment does have YKK waterproof zippers, and when you do open it, I'm not a huge fan just because kind of everything's kind of much more narrow and top down, so you got to fish things from the bottom. Yeah, essentially I got my sunglasses at the top right there. I just have my travel documents. I have some wet wipes. I have, what else do I have? I have my power bank. I got my phone and then my AirPods and charging adapter right in here. And this is kind of what the bag just kind of looks like, you know, as is. Can you fit a Nintendo Switch in there? You can. You can totally feed that in there, or put this one into this padded sleeve on the other side, and you can fit your controllers in there. But again, you would have to take out some of these things that I've already kind of taken out. Next question is, will a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 fit in there? And the answer is yes. It fits in there actually very, very nicely, and you can have room for your wallet and things like that. And then the final one is, will a Fujifilm X106 fit in there? And when you slot it in like that, it's kind of tough. I am going to take out my power bank. And if I take out my power bank, then it does fit, but it's still a little bit, because I have my keys in this front compartment and things like that, it's a little bit restrictive. So it's not 100% the best. So next up, we got the Moment 2-liter Everything Sling. It retails for about $70 US, and in terms of weight is 315 grams. So it does have external carry. It does have these kind of straps at the very bottom, but it's kind of sucks because they didn't do a very good integration of this, because these straps are, number one, too short for you to put anything big in there, like if you had like a larger water bottle or anything like that. And also these straps always kind of come loose, which is kind of annoying. If you don't have it tight, they just kind of fall off. So that's kind of like an annoying feature of it. Other parts that are annoying, well, let's talk about the strap. The strap is actually nice, but however, I just found it too long, and it gets very, very strappy, if you kind of see what I mean. But there is a push buckle release on this one side, which is fantastic. On the back, there is a small little zippered pocket perfect for things like your passport. And then what else do you have? At the very back, there is a slide pocket, and so you can kind of put some things, extra things in here. And at the front, you do have a smaller pocket. Now this one is kind of, it's lined with some kind of like soft fabric material. I have my, you know, headphones in there. I got my keys in there. But this is kind of meant for their kind of moment lenses, for lenses for your phone and stuff like that. And then in your main compartment, this is kind of where I have everything just kind of stashed in there. But you got my sunglasses, you know, I have my wallet, I have my power adapter, I got my power bank. The weird thing, placement of this key leash is actually terrible because it's in the main compartment. So if I have my electronics or if I had my camera in here, the keys would fall out and they would hit my camera. So I would actually never attach keys to here unless I, you know, wasn't carrying a camera or anything like that. And it's got a slide pocket at the back. And yeah, that's essentially it for this bag. Now, bonus, let's test out the Nintendo Switch to see if that will fit. So let's put this Nintendo Switch in this back slide pocket. And yes, the Nintendo Switch does fit perfectly in this back slide pocket. And there is room for the controllers to kind of fit in here, no problem, along with some of your other items. But again, you don't really have a great spot for your sunglasses. They just kind of get kind of shoved in there loose. One other thing I forgot to mention is that I really like this because it has these kind of side stretchy pockets on either side, and this is perfect for smaller things such as your AirPods. It's great because a lot of times when you put things into your bags, everything just kind of falls towards the middle of the bag, but this is, you know, it makes it so it's nice and space efficient onto the side, and you're really utilizing that space. But let's take a look at the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and see if that kind of fits in there. And the answer is yes, it does, but you can't really fit in your sunglasses in there, which is kind of a yeah, not the greatest. But yeah, so this is a 2-liter sling bag. It's got lots of pockets. It's got 4 pockets. You got your one in the front, your main one, your slide pocket at the back, and also a passport pocket right here. So overall, it's good, but you know, things can be improved, such as this kind of like really dangly strap, as well as the bottom kind of external attachment straps. Next up, we have the Modern Dayfarer 2-liter sling. So I actually really like the look of this sling. I love the color scheme, quality materials. However, I will have to say though, out of all of the bags here, I have to say that this is probably has the least amount of organization, maybe potentially the smallest, because right now I was able to fit, you know, all of my travel essentials as well as my basic essentials. However, there's no room for anything else. Like I definitely can't fit a Nintendo Switch, or literally it's anything else in here. And just looking at the bag right now, you know, it just got the one flap, but there's nothing at the back. There's no back zippered pocket. You know, the strap is nice, it's decent. It does have a fid lock buckle on this one side, but you cannot, you know, switch it around, so it's always going to just be on that one side. But yeah, let's kind of open this bag up. So when you do open it up, it's just one big kind of pocket. I was able to fit everything in there, but again, like I was saying before, there's not much in terms of organization. Like everything's just kind of stashed in there. You know, I have my headphones in there. I got my power adapter. The key leash is too short for my liking. Also, I have my wallet, my AirPods, and there's 2 front stash pocket sleeves right there, which is my power bank and my thing. And then also has one kind of slide pocket at the very back here. So if I take that out, will the Nintendo Switch fit in there? And the answer is yes, it will. So if you took out some of the stuff, like I had my wet wipes and then my travel documents, there's still room for you to fit the Joy-Con controllers in there. So yes, a Nintendo Switch will fit in here, but yeah, you got to take out, you know, quite a few things. And then in terms of the other stuff, like the DJI Osmo Pocket, so I'm actually going to take out pretty much everything. I have my, oh yeah, there's a zippered pocket at the front which kind of fits my sunglasses, but I'm gonna have to take this out and see. And I am able to put my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in there, but again, I don't really have much room for anything else. And I'm not even gonna bother with my Fujifilm X106 because I don't think it's gonna fit. I mean, I could try, but It's a tight fit. It doesn't really fit. I would have to take out everything from my power bank as well as the Nintendo Switch. Let's take the Nintendo Switch out first. So if we take out the Nintendo Switch, it kind of fits, but again, it's, even with that power bank in there, it's still kind of big. So I'd have to take that out in order for me to make that fit. So not really ideal, and I would have to say that this might be even less than 2 liters compared to some of the other 2-liter bags which I've just shown you. So next up, we have the Alpaka Elements Tech Case. Now, this is originally a tech case and a sling afterwards. However, this is the version 1, but they're actually on the version 1.2, which is actually better than this one because this is kind of an afterthought strap. However, the 1.2 has an actual better integrated strap, and the version 1.2 has a top handle, and this one does not. This is made of X-Pac. I really like it, and it's just kind of like, let me show you. I mean, the main thing I really like about this is this accordion style opening. You open it and boom, it's got so many dividers and compartments and sections. I really, really do like it. But before I get into that main compartment, this front zippered pocket, there's no key leash, but I have essentially just got my headphones in there as well as my keys. There's no key leash, just to let you know, but they're just kind of loosely in there. And there's a little bit of room for other things. And then in the main compartment right here, I just have my glasses loosely in there. There's 2 slide pockets right here. So I have my power bank as well as my cable. There's nothing in this front area. I have my wallet as well as my power adapter as well as my AirPods in this other area. There's a zippered pocket, which I have my passport. I have a wet wipes as well as some travel documents. And at the very back, there's another slide pocket for you to fit things. And yes, it will fit a Nintendo Switch, no problem, but I would have to take out essentially my wallet and some of these thicker items for me to fit my Joy-Con controllers in there. So to answer the question, yes, a Nintendo Switch will fit in here. Next bonus item would be the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So let's kind of take the Nintendo Switch out. And then I can put this one in here, no problem. So yes, a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 will fit in there, but again, I did have to take out my wallet, my AirPods, and my power adapter, and my sunglasses. So I did have to take those items out in order for me to fit that in. And then the last question is, will the Fujifilm X100 fit in there? And I have tested it before. I would have to take out these travel documents right here. And there's this kind of one main pocket right here. And yes, it will kind of barely close, but I would have to essentially take out, right now it's pretty thick because I do have the lens hood adapter thing on it. So you essentially have to take off the lens hooded thing adapter to save yourself, like, I don't know, like half a centimeter. And if you did that, maybe you would take these things out as well. But then, yes, then your Fujifilm X100 would fit in there. But again, that kind of defeats the purpose, and you're not utilizing any of the organizational sections in there. But yeah, you can fit it in there, but not ideal. This is actually the Bellroy Venture Sling 6-liter, but just to let you know, based on a lot of other people saying it's actually not 6 liters, it's closer to 4 to 5 liters. So yes, this doesn't really fit into this whole entire category because it is much larger. But I still wanted to talk about it because this is one of my favorite slings that I will never get rid of because it is so versatile. So let me quickly kind of dive through it first. So first, this thing retails for 120 US dollars, and it weighs in at about 344 grams. Why I like it so much is a few details, design elements. Number one, the strap. It is super duper easy to adjust when this is on your body. Like, look at this. This is just super, it just slides so easily. I love it. Also, it has buckles on either side, so you can swap sides or anything like that. So super simple. I really like it. And then the final, actually there's 2 other main reasons I like it. First thing is it has a padded bottom. None of them, other than the Moment Sling, has a slightly padded bottom. And the great thing about this is that if you did have a camera or electronics, you don't have to worry about it getting damaged because it's slightly padded on the bottom. And I just kind of wish that more bags were kind of like this. And then the final thing, I'll just kind of go straight into this main compartment here that I really love. This is one of the first bags that had these side stash pockets. So again, you can fit like your AirPods and things like that in there. And actually this one, it can stretch out large enough that you can actually fit a water bottle, standard size water bottle to fit in there. And it's great, again, because most of the times when you throw things into bags, they just kind of eventually will go to the middle. Wasted space, but with those pockets, it's not wasted space. I love it. Anyways, just kind of dive through some of these other features. It does have this front zipper pocket, which is fairly spacious. It's got 2 stretchy pockets inside. I have my headphones in there. I got my power adapter as well as my keys. My keys are attached to this key leash. This key leash is not great because it's not long enough. But yeah, so that's kind of like that main compartment. Now the top compartment, it's kind of it's interesting. It zips in opposite directions like this. And it's so that you can actually put your water bottle or umbrella on either side, which is kind of cool. But yeah, a little bit odd. Some people hate it. I don't mind it at all. But let's kind of open up this main compartment. And also, this was also one of the first bags that integrated this top sunglasses compartment. So it's kind of out of the way and will not get squished along with the other essentials. It's at the very top right here. So I really like that. And then when you're looking at it, again, I have it filled right now with all of my travel as well as my basic essentials. In here, in the main compartment, I just have my wallet and my wet wipes. You got 2 pockets for my power bank. There is a zip pocket at the back, which has my passport and also my travel documents. And also on one of the sides, I do have my AirPods in one of those side pockets. Now, getting into some things that I didn't like about this bag was there is no back zipper pocket, which sucks, but it is what it is. And there is no slide pocket. So if I had a Nintendo Switch, where would I put it? Unfortunately, it's just gonna have to go into this main compartment. So yes, it will fit in there, no problem. But the issue, and I can still have like my wallet and my wet wipes and things like that. The issue though is that there's no padding around it, so the screen is likely to get scratched. So not really ideal for a Nintendo Switch. And then the next bonus question is DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Yes, there's plenty of room to have that in there with pretty much everything, all of my travel essentials and my basic essentials in there. And then the final question is the Fujifilm X106. Let's actually even add on the lens hood. Will this fit in there? And I think the answer is yes. So yeah, the answer is yes. So I'm just gonna shift over my wallet a little bit. Boom. And I can even stand it up upright, and there's still space for small little things. But yes, this thing will zip up and it has room for my Fujifilm X106 with the lens hood attached. That is awesome. But again, this is a larger sling bag, closer to maybe around 4 liters, 4.5, maybe 5 liters. Next up, we have the Alpaka Vertex pouch. And it's weird because they call it a pouch as opposed to a sling, yet it still has this amazing, really, really comfy shoulder strap. So let's just give you a 360 first. So yeah, slightly different of a bag. I really do like how this X-Pack material. It's got a nice little thick grab handle. It's got these keeper straps, so you can take the strap off if you want to. The strap is very, very nice and beefy. It does have a fidlock slide, magnetic slide thing to take it on and off. But because it's on keeper straps, so you can't flip it around and change different sides. So for this bag, there's only 2 sections, really. The other bags have like, 3 or 4. So this one, it's got a front zippered pocket. This is kind of where I have my sunglasses right now. And when you do unzip it, the cool thing about it is that there's actually magnets in the front. So you can actually open it just like this and it will stay. And the other cool thing is that that sunglasses pocket can also be accessed from this other zipper, back zipper right here. So essentially it just kind of looks like this, and you have a padded slide pocket at the back. Again, I'll fit a Nintendo Switch in the back. But right now I just have kind of my wet wipes in there. I got, what is this called? My power cable. I got, it's got a small little sleeve for like smaller items like pens. I have my power bank in there. I got my AirPods, and then it's just got one big kind of giant or larger stash area where I have my wallet as well as my keys and my power adapter. One thing to note that is this thing does not have a key leash. Not a big deal, but just wanted to point that out there. Okay, so bonus. Will the Nintendo Switch fit into this back area? This is 3.5 liters, so technically, you should be able to fit this thing. But I think I do have to take off I have to take off at least one of the controllers for me to fit this into this back slide pocket, and then this will just kind of fit off to the side anywhere, and this will close no problem. So the bonus item, yes, it will fit in Nintendo Switch, no problem. Now let's test
the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So because this thing is much chunkier, you'd have to kind of essentially just kind of shove it in this main compartment. And the answer is yes. You are still able to fit your DJI Osmo Pocket 3 along with everything else. Boom, great. Now, and then the final question is, can you fit your Fujifilm X100 in here? Now, unfortunately, I think I would have to take out my wallet and some of these thicker, larger items. And I would take off the lens hood as well. And I think that it might fit in this front area. And it does. So it does fit in there. And you could totally zip it up. It just bulges out a little bit, but there's still room. I can probably put my wallet back in there. But yeah, I wouldn't put my power adapter or my keys in there. I would probably have space for my headphones. Yeah, just want to kind of let you know that's the Alpaka Vertex pouch. And finally, the last item of the bunch is the Orbitkey Urban Sling. This is the 4-liter version. And I will have to honestly say, unfortunately, out of all of the sling bags that I kind of mentioned today, this one is probably my least favorite one. And the main reason is because the fabric right here is, it catches a lot of lint. So it's not ideal. It kind of feels, gives it that little cheap feeling, which I don't really like. But I know it's a great, I mean, Orbitkey is a great brand. I've used their other products have been fantastic. But this urban sling just hasn't been the one for me. And also, there's a lack of organization, which I'll kind of get into in a minute. But yeah, looking at the strap right now, basic strap, it does have a push-release buckle, and it has this kind of like clip here so you can clip your keys and things like that. But honestly, I don't want to clip my keys on the outside. That's like, you know, asking for someone to steal your keys. And it gets all clangy and stuff like that. So honestly, not a fan. But yeah, there's only 2 main pockets. We'll actually start at the back. So it's got one large kind of zippered pocket, and this is nice because you can kind of put your things in here. It's got 2 kind of dividers here. I just have essentially my passport in one, I have nothing in the other one, I have travel documents, and also I have my wet wipes in there. Then when we are opening up that main compartment, it does open up nice and wide, and it is fairly big, which is nice. And it does have that top sunglasses pocket, which keeps your sunglasses, you know, away from everything else, which is nice. But you only have just essentially 2 large stash pockets, stretchy pockets. I got my power bank and cable in that one. And this one, I filled it with everything. I got my keys, my power adapter, my AirPods, as well as, yeah, just my corded headphones. And in this main area, I just have my wallet. So boom. Now, I mean, this is 4 liters, so yes, this again also does not qualify, but I just wanted to kind of put this out there just because I know that people will be looking at this urban sling as well. So, bonus items. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch. Will the Nintendo Switch fit in the main compartment? The answer is yes. The Nintendo Switch will fit in the main compartment. Just make sure you don't have any sharp objects, otherwise it will scratch the screen. Secondly, will the Nintendo Switch fit in the back pocket? Well, if I just kind of move these things up here and put this into the back, the answer is yes. And it will also zip up as well, which is great. So great, the Nintendo Switch works. Next, let's talk about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So if we move those items back into this kind of slide pocket at the back and put this DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in there, no problem, that'll fit in there easily. And then the final item is the Fujifilm X100. So let's take this out first. Let's take my wallet out first. And then, now, I kind of don't want to put my Fujifilm X100 in there because I got my power adapter and my keys in there, which are hard and could scratch. And so it's not really a place where I would want to put a camera if I have those items in there. And it unfortunately doesn't have another top pocket, but I'm just going to put it in there just for the sake of showing you how much room there is. So the answer is yes. I did have to take off the lens hood, and there is still room for my wallet. So yes, I was still able to fit everything into this bag, although not ideal. So let's wrap this video up. My pick, as in terms of my favorite one, would have to be the Rework Gear Toshi Sling version 2, 2.5 liter. I just feel like if I had to choose one, this one kind of fits the bill for every single thing that I needed. But if you are on a budget, probably the best bang for the buck would 100% be the Tomtoc version. The Tomtoc version is great. It just does the job, and it's extremely affordable. Now, all of these slings are good in its own way, and there's it literally just comes down to personal preference. So whether you choose the AER or Alpaka or the Moment one, you know, they're all gonna be great. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and definitely don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Desy31.